Scola, and welcome to Motivation Monday. So today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I feel very strongly about. I haven't really planned this video and I have no idea where I'm going with this or my thought process or anything, so it might be very mishmashed and just random, but I just wanted to talk about it. So the other day I was talking to a client of mine about obesity, and we were just discussing the issues and the problems around it, because part of her job is dealing with people who are morbidly obese and physically cannot move. They have to be carried out of their homes and they're literally too big to get out of their homes, and often all sorts of measures have to be taken to get them out of their homes. And I decided to make a video about it because I realized that there is something in this society that I don't think we've really taken into an account. As an example, I am going to use the mental illness anorexia. Before I start, in no way am I saying that the stigma with anorexia is non-existent. It's not. There are a lot of people that are still very naive and ignorant towards mental illnesses. So what I'm trying to say is anorexia has a lot more progression in society to be understood. So with anorexia, when somebody gets very underweight, their rights are taken away because they become a danger to themselves, and so they can legally be put into care, or somebody else can make decisions for them, such as putting them into rehabilitation or some sort of situation where they can be hospitalized and made better. Now, this is amazing and it's very good because at that state their mental illness has taken over, and it means that they have no control over themselves and what they're doing anyway. And the great thing is, for the most part, if somebody is seen to be underweight, they will be asked if they're okay, especially in schools and such. You know, teachers will raise concern if they see a child that is very skinny or looks like they're very ill. They will be asked if they're okay, and measures will be taken to help that child out. Again, I am not saying that this is in every case, but more likely will you have somebody approach an underweight person to ask them if they're okay than an overweight person to ask them if they're okay, and that is what I am worried about. I have to say, when I was overweight, I definitely probably had some form of eating disorder, simply because I kept going and I could not stop. And even now, it's something that I battle with, and often I wonder whether I have some kind of mental illness or something that makes it very difficult for me to see food in a normal light. Obviously, things have gotten a lot better and I managed to control myself, so I have no idea. I've never gone to get treated or anything like that, simply because of the fact that in the society, being overweight or being obese is not seen as anything serious. It's just, you're lazy, you're not working hard enough, you're just a mess, basically. That is how people see overweight people, and there's not much help. And I wanted to talk about how actually when you are overweight and you are obese, there can be a lot of emotional distress and emotional ties towards why you are obese and why you are overweight. I know for me personally, the reason why I was overweight is because there were a lot of bad things going on in my life, and for me as a child, the best way I could deal with that was finding comfort in food. And because I had no idea what food could do to my body, I kept going on, because as a child you don't correlate eating food with gaining weight. You kind of just live your life, if that makes sense. I definitely found comfort in food to deal with the emotional stress that I was under. And in doing so, I developed this almost like a disorder that meant that whenever anything bad happened, I would go straight to food. And it's something that carried on and it turned into binging, and I would go through moments where I would binge, and it's something that I struggled with whilst I was overweight, even when I'd lost the weight, and even up to now that I still struggle with. That being said, I still feel like I do have control, so I can't say whether there is actually any mental issue there. Then again, I don't know if I'm saying that because I feel like I had control, or if I'm saying that because I feel like somebody would think I was stupid for even suggesting that I have a problem. So there's a part of me that very much believes that I wish that people who got to a certain level of obesity could be hospitalized or put into rehabilitation to make sure that they don't go too far. At both ends of the spectrum, if you're underweight or you're overweight, eventually if you keep going in that direction, you're gonna end up harming yourself and dying, and sad stuff happens, basically, to put it lightly. I just don't understand why obesity isn't taken as seriously. Now, I understand that in the society we live in, we're all a lot more overweight anyway, and that's due to our lifestyle, the food available to us and everything like that. But I think there's a difference from us being overweight, and then there's a difference from those who end up getting morbidly obese and literally cannot get out of their houses. And it's a lot more common than you guys might think. Like I said, I was talking to my client and she comes across it a lot. It's such a regular thing, and to me that was an absolute shock, because yes, I've seen documentaries with people being lifted out of their houses because they can't get out themselves, but I thought, oh, it's just a rare thing, only a couple of people probably get to that point, but it's actually a lot of people and it's increasing, and I feel like there's something that needs to be done to kind of stop it and help those people. And I just feel like things like therapy could be offered to those people, and when these people go to the doctors, they're just told to start losing weight and try as hard as they can. But I think it's past that point and it becomes a disorder, a mental disorder, where these people need help and therapy and somebody to talk to, because I know the reason why I was overeating, I needed someone to talk to and to get that out, and the way I kind of did that was probably online, and I hate to be a cliche, but Tumblr really helped me in that respect to get my emotions out and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with this thought process. All I know is that I'm upset that obesity isn't taken more seriously in the terms of the mental illness, but it's taken more seriously in the fact that it's an epidemic or something that the government needs to control with tips and advice and tricks on how to eat healthier and get more active. Whereas I think there is a population of people who actually need help and mental help with stopping themselves from getting to that point where they do become morbidly obese and overweight, because I can assure you nobody actually enjoys being consistently lazy and eating and doing nothing. And I'm sure a lot of you guys watching who are overweight and battling with your weight can agree that your being overweight isn't so much to do with you just being lazy and eating. There is a reason why you became lazy and started eating. Yeah, I guess my wish would be that there'd be more progression like there has been with anorexia, whereby people are just a bit more open about it. And I know obesity isn't as fast as anorexia. As in anorexia, you pretty much go from 0 to 100 real quick, whereas obesity, it takes time to get to that point where you are so overweight that you might actually die. But I think we could tackle the problem so much easier, because it would save so much money if people invested more into the therapy and checking if people are okay in terms of overeating and stuff like that. Because imagine when you become overweight, all the health issues that you have and the medical costs that come with those, like having to be airlifted from your home, that costs a lot of money. The diabetes medicine, because you're most likely going to develop diabetes, and all kinds of other illnesses, the care that has to be hired to look after you and feed you and help you out because you can't move anymore, that kind of money that's going into looking after you because you've gotten to a morbidly obese point could actually be used much earlier on, before you got to that point, and used to get you therapy and help and advice on how to stop yourself from getting to that point. Like, that's what I'd love to do with my life. I mean, I think that's why I became a personal trainer. And for me, personal training isn't just about telling somebody to work out, telling somebody what to eat. For me, it's about helping somebody. A lot of people say that personal trainers aren't actually just personal trainers, that they're life coaches, and I guess I would love to be a life coach and be able to help somebody past the point of just telling them to work out and eat healthier, but actually talk to them and get to know them and understand why it is they overeat, and hopefully to help them overcome it. On the other spectrum, yes, there are some people that are literally just lazy and just want to eat, but a lot of the times those people will be able to pick themselves out of that kind of rut and stop the overeating and such. Yeah, I just feel like people need to be a bit more respectful and understanding of those who are overweight, because I was obese and I got called fat and I got called lazy, I got called all kinds of names. I got called a pig by one of my friend's mothers, and you'd expect a mother not to be such an absolute bitch, but she was. And it's that stigma that she didn't even stop to think that maybe there was something going on in my life that was causing me to overeat and find comfort in food. Oh, there's so much more that I wanted to talk about on this topic, and I don't know, I just feel like starting some kind of campaign or something to help those who are overweight and obese. And that's why even on my channel I try and involve more of these videos rather than just my workout videos and my recipe videos, because I know, yes, those are helpful and can give you more ideas, but if you aren't mentally there, then how are you ever going to implement those into your life, basically? This was probably a very serious video. I was like on it. I was serious Scola today. I'd just love to hear your thoughts on this topic. If you have any input or anything you'd like to say, please do comment below. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy topics like this. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Fast, quick ways to lose weight, but most people were really lovely about it and were like, thank you for making this video, because I was trying to look for a quick fast way to lose weight, and this video has helped me to realize that that's not what this is about.